Check a Pro Joe here on the Check a Pro Radio Show. Everybody loves to save money, and you can't always do that with home improvement. But I have a guy here. His name is Paul, and Paul knows how to save you some money here in Texas. Paul Doane, how are you?
Doing great, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here on the Check a Pro Radio Show. So you help people pull hot air out of their attics with fans. So how does that save people money?
Great question. Great question. So everybody wants to stay comfortable in their home and they want to do it for the lowest cost possible. In Texas, very hot, air conditioners are running very heavily. And throughout the nation, the average portion of your utility bill is about, on average, 40 to 60% of it dedicated to that air conditioner. Most people have larger utility bills, and if you can attribute 40 to 60% of that to the air conditioner, the typical go-to response is, how can we reduce that? And so when you start looking at the envelope of the home and how to stay cool, the attic is the biggest culprit of heat. The heat gets trapped in there, and it's very critical to be able to blow it out. There's a variety of solar fan and smart fan technologies to be able to achieve that. And once you can cool that attic up to 40 degrees, your air conditioner has a significantly easier time cooling the house. It's fighting a lot less attic heat that can get dramatically amplified. Say outside's 100 degrees, an average attic without proper ventilation could be 120 to 140, if not 150 degrees. Blowing that heat out makes a tremendous difference. And what I hear most is that, Paul, I notice a difference with those attic fans. I can feel it in the upstairs level. I notice my air conditioner running a lot less. And once it cools the home, it stays cooler for longer. I love my attic fans. Mm-hmm. And so that's really where we can save the money, Jim, is we can cut the air conditioner run time down. And how we do that is by cooling that attic because it gets so hot.
Yeah. For people who don't quite understand what we're talking about with heat in the attic, think about this. Let's say it's a really hot day here in Texas and your garage is really hot. If you open your garage door, which is big, and then you open up another door or window in the garage, let's say it's a window, you're going to get some passive movement. But if you put a box fan in that window and you blow the air toward the outside, you're doing the same thing that we're talking about with an attic fan in the attic. You are sucking the air out that's hot. And what happens is when you take something away, it has to be replaced. So it's going to come in through soffit vents and other ventilation from the outside, which even though it might be 100 degrees outside, it could be 140 in your attic or higher. So it's better to be 100 in the attic than to be 140, because just think logically, everybody, your air conditioning system doesn't have to work as hard. Your insulation, which doesn't seem like it's working, won't have to work as hard. You just won't. And your top floor, whether you're in a 1-story or a 2-story here in Texas, that top floor is going to be more comfortable because you're not going to feel that heat wanting to push down.
You sound like you enjoy attic fans in your own home, don't you, Jim?
Love it. Yep, got one.
No, that's what they do. They relieve the heat, and then it reduces the cooling load on the air conditioner dramatically. And that does two things. That extends the life of the air conditioner, which is a very expensive purchase, right? We want to reduce the number of times we have to do that in anybody's lifetime. Reduces maintenance calls, reduces the energy bill. And so we're saving on a bunch of platforms, and that's on the air conditioner. Now let's look at the roof side. So roofing is also another expensive purchase that homeowners want to avoid or minimize. And in Texas, the roofing systems hold an extreme amount of heat for nearly all year long. And the shingles, if you have a shingle roof, they're going to prematurely deteriorate due to holding excess heat. And if we can relieve that heat load, we can prolong the life of many roofing systems as well. And so with these attic fans, you just get so many marbles. Reduce your energy cost, extend the life of your air conditioner, reduce maintenance, extend the life of your roof. And so I like to think of these products as almost like a small insurance plan to be able to extend the life of these huge things that we clearly rely on so much living in our homes, wanting to have the comfort and savings that we're all looking for.
Yeah. For those of you who might be into health, it's like exercising every day and eating well and getting good sleep. It's a good investment in you. A good investment in your home here in Texas is to get the hot air out. And the least expensive way to do it is to call Paul and his team to come out and take a look at your attic space, because to put an attic fan in is much less expensive than replacing your air conditioning unit by far, or units. It's really the way to go. All of Paul's information is located here in the show notes of this podcast. And as always, thank you for coming on today, Paul, and being that expert in the attic. Much appreciated.
Thanks for having me, Jim.